Right, this is another quick, well, it's not going to be a quick one, it's going to be quite a long video actually. I'm going to be painting the PT Cruiser in black and green like I did the test panels the other day. Bit of a process before I've actually masked it up. I've got a panel wiper down, blow it down. I've prepped the place, I put the fans in the door. So I'm just going to have a good clean down but and get everything ready for painting. And I'll just show you the car now. So it's finished painting the test panels. I'll let you have a look, see what you think. So this is the black with the candy green over it. That's just normal black. I'm quite liking it. I'm going to put it standing up. It's literally black. Really nice coarse mix. So that's green over candy apple green over silver. Yeah. So that's what colour the PT Cruiser's going. So we've got bonnets, 2 bumpers and the car. Obviously it's been prepped by Fells Autos. He did all the prep work on it for me. I'm going to do inside the doors. Obviously I'm going to have to do the black first on the top, then mask it and do the green, well silver, then the green on the bottom. It's all masked up, ready to roll. I'm not going to do like I did last time where I took the doors off, the boot off, because it's just too much hassle with this, and it's a bit of an older truck. But it'll have the same effect, I hope. Chances are a couple of problems that we might have is where the old painting was, these, they could possibly map, like show through the paint. But until we paint it, we won't know. Not to pass that anyway. So I'll put it on time lapse and see how we go.
It ain't gonna be me.
Right, that's the black done. Now the problem I've had with the black is it previously had stickers on for a long time. I'm not sure how long they were put on after the paint was put on. It might have been still a bit wet, maybe a bit, settling off. But I've had an absolute nightmare. It's mapping out. You can see the old stickers coming through the paint, so I've had to probably seen me dusting. I'm just dusting it on as much as I can. I'm gonna have to let that black dry, see what it turns out like, and go from there. And then hopefully tomorrow get some silver and get the green on the bottom, mask it up. But till then, it's pub o'clock, and that's when I'm off. Nice cold one. See you later. So I've tried to mask off the black and inside the doors as well, so I can do the green, silver and things like that. I'm going to explain to you why I didn't take the doors off on the last video, and it'll make a bit more sense, but I haven't for a reason at the moment. And got inside the boot. I'm just hoping that the green and the silver don't bleed into each other. But we can see, we'll see what it goes, and if it does, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll put a pinstripe on it or something. But I'm going to give it a quick tack off. I'm going to time lapse it from the other side with my camera over there. I'm going to put this one over here on the drill, and then we'll see how we get on. Right, we're back in again. I'm back on the PT Cruiser. This time I'm going to be doing the bottom, which is silver with the candy green over it. I haven't really done any videos on the masking for you because it's quite boring, but I've had to mask the black half up, and I've had to wait. It's now 8 o'clock at night, and I've had to wait till now just to come and paint it, because it's just too hot in here, and it's just sweating. So I'm back. It's 8 o'clock, and I'll show you what I've done. Right, so it's time to mix up the green, the candy that goes on top. As explained before, it's a translucent colour, so you can see through it, basically. You can get this stupid glove on. Try putting rubber gloves on with sweaty hands. Yeah, still not working. Anyway, let's get the mixing done. Again, this is saying 1-to-1, which is 50-50, so I've got these cups, and if you can see them, 100 milligrams on the side, so I'm just going to go the same 50-50, so it's half and half. So let's give it a go, and let's hope that it actually covers better than the silver does. Otherwise, yeah, you guessed it, I'm in the shit. I have to wait and order some more. So anyway, green, we'll put some thinners in it, 50-50 like we said, and then paint strainer, give it a good mix. I'll show you the colour, and then we'll get some laid down, I think, and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's nice. If you can see it, you can see that more you're going to put on, the darker it's going to get. Please cover, because I can't be asked wasting a couple of days for some more. If not, I'm just going to lacquer it in anyway. Well, that's coat one. Way too light. I've got 2 pots, possibly one more that I can do. I think I'm going to get another coat out of it. And I've got 1 more litre, which should give me another 4 pots, so I should get another 3rd coat. Fingers crossed. Let's see, let's give it a bit of breathing time. I'll put it back on in a minute. coming, but got some serious problems on the wings. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know if you can see it. It's like reacting there. Definitely see that one. I think it might be something to do with the stickers that were underneath it before. I suppose I could just blame Felly for prepping it. But you get the gist with the colour. I don't even know what this back band's doing. It's having its own little party. I'm going to let that flash off. I'm going to give it one more coat of green. I'm going to leave it till the morning, demask it, see what we get on. I do like the colour, but I don't like these mapping mark reactions. But I think I'm going to solve them with a cheat. So I'm just going to lack them in. And then I'm going to give slick stickers a ring to put some stickers on it. Right, so this morning what we're going to do, is lacquer it. I'm going to use an MS10, it's a bit of a fast hardener. It's not perfect. Let's see how it goes and we'll figure out the end. Put some stickers on it. Hope you enjoyed the colour. Well, that's the lacquer, and I seem to have blinded myself with gum wash. Not good. Right, I'll cut this and clean my gun, and I'll update you in a bit. Well, it's dried off, and a lot of the problems I thought I was going to have, I didn't have, and somehow the lacquer's hit it. I'm glad I did one thing. I didn't paint or take the doors off, because on the previous job I did with the Audi, I painted all the inside of the door jambs, and I found there was a bit of a problem when you're masking it up after. I use soft tape, so it's this kind of stuff. Foam tape, so it gives more of a soft edge when you're painting. But what I learned on the last job is when you're doing a candy, because you're putting such a heavy silver sparkly coat down, then several coats of translucent blue or green, it leaves a silver line all the way around. I mean, I would imagine it'd be quite hard to cover. So I decided this time to leave the doors on and paint them, and I've got no silver lines, which is double bonus. But I'll flick it round and I'll let you decide for yourself. Finish is nice. Black. against the green. The other side, the door jambs is done, two-toned. Yeah, I like it. Roof, nice. Again, they're all inside the boot. Yeah, good. A few little areas that needed attention seem to have, I don't know, just disappeared. A little bit of mapping on this one, by here, but not even the camera's picking it properly. They're there. Apart from that, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Got the PT Cruiser back in today, and just before it's going in next door to Jamie to have the suspension lowered, which I'll show you the kit in a minute, I'm going to measure distance between the top of the tyre or the rim, the top of the arch, and let's see how much it actually does drop it. But because I'm Captain Forgetful, I wouldn't be forgetful, would I? Because it's going to be on video. I'm going to write it down anyway. The rear, the arch is 17 centimetres. And you'd think that I'd actually have something to write on, wouldn't you? Rear, 17 centimetres. The front is 14. Let's get it open. I don't think it's going to be anything spectacular, but just let's have a look what they look like. Oof. Nice. Assuming they're the fronts. And they're the rears. Or vice versa, one or the other. Nice shiny red to go with the red calipers, which I'll paint again. But yeah, I'm happy with them. They were £158. Let's see how much it drops it down by. Hopefully it'll drop it down by at least, I'm hoping, it said 60 mil. I'm hoping it drops it enough to look a bit tidier than the Golmus back end it's got on it now, that one there. A bit big. So when Jamie gets in tomorrow, we'll have a look and we'll get them fitted. Right, so today we're going to be doing, or attempting, to change the springs on this PT Cruiser. I've got a set of spring clamps, 24mm socket to do the spring clamps, and an impactor. I'm hoping it's not going to end in tears and then shoot off and try and kill me, but oh, and I've got colour-coded gloves to match my hair. I don't even know how it's going to work out, but we're going to have a go anyway. We're trying to do the lowering springs on the PT Cruiser. I've got myself 24mm socket for the spring compressors, the impactor, some colour-coded gloves to match my hair, and I'm going to attempt it without undoing any bolts. Some people have told me not to. I don't really listen to many people, but it'll either end in tears or it'll work. I'm going to take the springs off, so release them. And then fit the new ones. They actually look the same size. Obviously they've got to fill the gap up in between, the same. So we'll take the rubbers off the tops and the bottoms, fit them in. So that's there. And they go in a certain way. So for argument's sake, this one, that's the end of the spring. And that's the end of the spring rubber. See it? There. So that has literally got to go on the end of it. And that's it. Perfect. Now for the dangerous part. Putting the spring killers back on. Now I'm going to put money on it. But I'm going to put this spring in. And it's going to do one of two things. It's going to unspring, and I'm going to have a nightmare getting the clamps off. Or it's going to be perfect and work well. I'm hoping for the latter. Otherwise, it's going next door to Jamie to get them. And that one's in. Let's sit in properly, but we'll in a minute. But you know, one of them jobs you think, do you know what, I'm not paying a mechanic to do it, I'm going to do it myself. It looks easy. A couple of clamps, bit of a bolt, job done. It isn't. It's a lot worse. Yeah, it is. And we'll take the other one. This time on time lapse. So rear springs are fitted. I'm imagining they've got to settle a little bit, but previous video we measured it, and where's the pen? Let me get you a pen. There's the box. The rears 17 centimetres from rim to arch. And these are 13. So it's dropped it 4 centimetres. I think they're between 40 and 60 mil advertised. But obviously they're going to settle. By the time I shove 7 or 8 bags of cement in the boot, it should lower again, really. I'm happy with it. I think I could have put them lower. I'm not going to grumble because I'm going to do the front ones next. I know they're going to be a bitch. Let's get on with it then, I think, for the next video. So now we're on to the front shockers of the PT Cruiser. I'm going to show you what I think has to be done. Should be right, and it should come off, and then we'll figure out how to take the shocker, the spring off, but I'll just spin it around and show you what I think is going to come off. So I'm thinking this bolt, that bolt, cable tie, and then if we get up on the ramp, I'm thinking these 3 bolts, 13 mil, and I'm sort of hoping it's just going to drop out, as simple as that. So we're at that point again where this has got to come off with the dreaded spring compressors again. Oh, look. Hooray to the mole grips. Old spring, new spring. So obviously they're tapered, the bottom end, so it needs to go back on the same way it came off. Back in. Try not to look into the spring in case it comes off, obviously. Just there. It's there. And then the top bearing can go on there. Strut top bearing bolt, top bolt. Boom! There it is. Let's get it back on. Okay, job's finished. And as I said, it's not as easy as it looks. That's if it even did look easy, but some things you get, and you have to have specialist tools like spring compressors, but you can do this on the side of the road. It's not something that you have to go out and spend fortunes just to do it. So out of 10, I'd say it's about a 5. Let's see what we've got the results, because I want to see. It was 14 centimetres. It is now, I'm going to say 11. And I'm hoping it's going to drop a little bit more, but I'll take it off the stand and you can have a look yourself. It looks a lot better. And they do sink. It's not as gormless on the back. On the front, like I say, pretty simple-ish. All I did was when I put it back in was I put these 3 bolts in hand tight. Went underneath, put the 2 bolts back in, cable tied the pipe back on. Job done. The whole reason of me doing these videos is just to show people that, you know, I'm in a pretty well equipped unit, but I haven't got a booth. I've got no specialist knowledge on mechanics, but this is just to show you that you can do stuff on the side of the road or in your garage at home, and any problems you can rectify it. Like later on, I'm going to be doing a flat and polish on the quarter and the bonnet. So if you were to paint something in your garage, etc., you can repair it if dust lands in it, or excuse me, or if the paint flakes or something. I'll try and show you what the worst case scenario is and how easy it is to refix with the right equipment. Obviously, I've got quite a bit of equipment, but crack on. Right, today we're going to be doing some sniffing my arm still. We're going to be doing the last little bits that we need to do for the PT Cruiser, the rear window conversion, slip spoiler for the front, that's if that stops reacting. Get them painted in black, hopefully getting dry, and then get a couple more projects on the go. So I'll just run you through what we use, what I'm using. We've got the jet black, which is a solid, not a metallic, so the shine is actually in the first coat, so I haven't got to lacquer it and do anything with it. I'm going to use a fast hardness because I'm not really using much heat. I've got the infrared heater on and that's about it, but I'm going to be using a fast hardness 6033 Capsy and the usual 2-pack thinners Capsy. I'm going to put a little drop of silicone in it, and silicone drops in case because it's fiberglass, it might flare up a little bit. Hopefully not. I'm going to go 2 to 1. So I've got these cups. You probably can't see it, but 2 start with paint. Use that with paint, hardener, and then whatever percentage of thinners I'm doing. It's pretty simple, really. Give it a good mix up. I'm going to use my W400 Iwata gravity fed. Obviously, I'm going to put some filters in. I'm not going to use that today. And that's it. I'll get it mixed up, and then we can get on with it. I'm going to be doing 2 coats. Obviously, it's 2-pack. I'm going to get a good shine on it, and this black can be used for anything. It's just a basic standard black. Some hardener. Touch more with this. Use 40% thinners today because it'll flow nicer. Maybe a bit more. Here we got Jamie next door doing a wheel bearing. A bit of silicone drops. A bit too much silicone drops, but there you go. Give it a good stir, and away to go. Never try doing a video next to a mechanic. Apparently he's doing a wheel bearing on a Freelander that was nearly hanging off. A lot of people refuse to do them, but he says he'll tackle it and he'll get on with it. Maybe if we painted this, I might pop in and have a look, see if he's crying or spat his dodie with it or anything. We'll see. Let's get this done first. It's in the morning. Right, today we're going to do a quick polishing video, flat and polishing. If you get bits of shit in it, or you get a bit of a reaction or a mapping mark off something, this is what I use. So first of all, I use a 1500 wet or dry. I'll get myself a bucket of water. Chamois leather and a rubber block. So obviously it's rubber block on this, wet flat it with your water, dry it off with your chamois, have a look if there's any imperfections, which I'll show you in a minute, and then polish it. Now, I've been using a different polishing kit. I've been using this 3M Perfect It 3-stage. So you hit it with the green, then you hit it with the blue, and then you hit it with the yellow. Brilliant setup. But a mate of mine who's got a garage in Johnstown, AD, I used to do my apprenticeship with, said you need to try this one. It's the G360 Superfast compound. Now, I haven't used it before, so I'm going to give it a go. It comes, you can buy it with a proper G-mop with a long extension and a flexi head with a lamb's wool, and there's also a foam head that goes with it as well. And I use a little bit of spray water if it goes a bit dry or if the weather's a bit hot. So I'll show you what I do first. So here's the wing. You know, there's little bits of imperfection, so like little dots on the bonnet. I've sort of flattened out. I keep away from these areas around the nozzles because it's just quite hard to polish. And the edges, I'll give them a quick rub in a minute on this part. So there's a little bit of dirt in it. There's just to get it that next step, little bits of shit in it there. So I'll put the camera on time lapse. What I'm going to do is going to wet flat it with the 1500, dry it off, check for any imperfections, do it again if there is, and then we'll hit it with the polisher and I'll let you know how the G360 Superfast compound goes. And once I've learned how to use the camera properly and stop doing half of my face. And like I said, I've got 1500 wet or dry, straight in the water, give it a wet. And then sometimes you can't get the block in, so this is just to get a really nice flat finish, which I'll show you in a minute what the difference is. It's on a curved panel. Don't do this with your fingers. What you get is like so if you imagine you're sanding and that's in your paint, so you're going to get them lines in after. So what you try and do is go side on, you know, just to flat it. If you're going to not use a block, if you haven't got a block. So it's just a case of side on in the awkward parts. I can see a few imperfections here straight away. What I'm going to do then is just give it a quick blocking off. It's quite warm today, so what we've got is, and plus I use an airline. If you haven't got a compressor, then you can't use an airline, or you could use a blower, I suppose a leaf blower. I'm going to give this a go, the Chrysler G360. They say it's a non-filler, so it shouldn't dull off after. Sometimes when you jet wash them and put a bit of TFR on them, you get dry patches and you have to wax it back up. But I'm still going to use the wax polish off the G3 over there, off the 3M one off there, the 3-stage one. But I'm going to give this a go and see how it is and see if it works as good as my mate AD says. going to give it a quick rundown that we've finished doing the polishing. The new one, the 360, the Faracler, it really, you can feel it gripping on the paint. It's a bit weary of it. Is it going to burn through on the edges? Because you've got to be a little bit careful on edges and that you don't pop through. But what you got to remember is I painted that, so on the last coat of lacquer, I put an extra coat on. So I know I've got 3 coats of lacquer. I've got good depth there, so I can polish all day until it polishes through. So it's different if you're doing a car that you haven't painted. I still used the polish, the high wax polish on the other one on the. I'll show you, makes life a bit easier. So I still use the ultra fine on the 3M on my cordless buffer just to get the wax shine. There is another one, the yellow one, which I'm going to start using. Maybe on the next coat, I'll go do these wings and everything first. It's a long, drawn-out process, but it's what you need to finish the car off right. You know, it's gleaming. You can see the Suzuki off the wall. It's all about reflections and perfections. And don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, but it's a PT Cruiser, and it will look mint when it's done. Plus, I need a haircut, and I'm quite impressed with the Faracler system. I've ended up doing 3, and I thought I'll do it again. So I wiped it all off, done it 4th time. And I think the more times you're doing it, you can see the depth of the shine coming back through. And I picked the worst colour to do, really. I picked the black bonnet. But it's come really well. I'm really impressed. I will still keep using that Faracler with the speed wop, but I am still going to be using my blue and my green high wax content on my cordless. I think that's going to give me some good results in the future. Obviously, this isn't the only car I'm going to be painting. And on that note, catch you later. As you can see, we've finished the PT Cruiser. A few problems that the paint, when you're putting the candy over the silver, I think next time I'm going to sand the silver down, put a dust coat on it, and I'm not going to use the paint because they put the additive with a binder. I'm going to use it as a dye in the lacquer. It comes as a fluid. It's a bit easier. Sometimes you don't have that option with pigments, but with the candy you do. Just put the side pipes on it. I wouldn't like to go over a speed dump, but we have tried and it does do it. Yeah, it was a bit of a complicated job with the paint side of things. Just be aware of it. It's quite hard to cover, and it does go patchy if you don't get it right. But I've been told, I've been doing some research. So normally I'm doing this sort of width away from the panel painting. They think that you should come away from it a bit further away from the panel and follow your wet line rather than painting a 75% overlap. So sounds quite a lot, and you'd think that you'd get runs and you'd think that you'd have problems, but I'm going to try it next time because I've got the Jetta coming up next, the pickup. So I'm going to do that in a pigment though, so it's going to be a little bit different, I think. And then I've got a bike coming in as well after that. I'm going to do a bike, a BMW K1200 that I bought a while ago, amongst other problems. But I've never done a bike before, so it should be quite interesting. But I'll leave you with it. See you next time.